Millennium Creek is a small spring-fed creek situated in the town of Cochrane, Alberta. The Headwater Springs are located 150 meters north of the Highway 22 bridge over the Bow River. The total length of the creek is approximately 800 meters from the upper spring downstream to the mouth on Big Hill Creek. If you look at the top left-hand corner of this aerial map, you will see that the creek flows underneath Highway 22 downstream to the primary spring pond on the creek channel. The primary spring pond, which is locally known as the Duck Pond, is the main source of water for Millennium Creek. The groundwater spring that feeds this pond comes out of the hillside on the east side of the pond. From the primary spring pond, the creek meanders downstream, crossing underneath Griffin Road, and finally enters the Big Hill Creek near the confluence with the Bow River. As this 2004 video footage will show, up until that year, Millennium Creek was a stream in trouble and in need of some restoration work. Years of silt loading from historic agricultural practices, urban development, and roadside runoff had resulted in a stream channel that was wider than it should be, compared to a stream set in a more natural environment. The stream channel at that time was up to 7 meters wide in some locations, and the shallow channel was choked with aquatic sedge, varieties of rushes and grasses. On some spots on the creek there was open water, but it was shallow and the channel was full of silt. Later on in the summer months, these open areas would fill with algae. Underneath this vegetation, the channel substrate was comprised of a thick layer of silt, which was over knee-deep in some areas. The overall gradient on the creek was very low, and silt deposition had further slowed the velocity of the stream's flow. In 2004, Bow Valley Habitat Development partnered with the town of Cochrane Parks and Facilities Department to initiate a restoration program for Millennium Creek. The restoration plan would involve a two-phase program consisting of a first phase channel cutting project to create a new narrow stream channel on the creek. The second phase objectives were to enhance the new stream channel stability and create suitable fish habitat in the creek for a resident trout population. The project was to be a partnership endeavor, with new additional partners being involved as the program continued to progress. The program's title was to be the Millennium Creek Stream Reclamation and Fish Habitat Enhancement Project. The Phase 1 Channel Cutting Program 2005. For the channel cutting program, high-pressure water jets were used to cut through the heavy mat of aquatic plant roots on the existing stream channel. Silt containment measures were employed on the creek downstream of the channel cutting operations. A combination of silt fences across the stream channel and silt trap pools on the lower reach of the creek were used to ensure that no silt entered the Big Hill Creek or the Bow River during the Phase 1 program. I'm just downstream of the 130 meter mark, and this is where we ended our channel cutting yesterday on Friday. I'm going to go just downstream here. There's where we finished off, but this just gives you an idea of what we have to cut our way through. There's a lot of silt on top of the grass there, but this is basically loaded with types of sedge and emergent grasses and a type of rush that has a very thick root mass on it. I'll go down just a little further here. And here you can get a better idea of what we're blowing our way through here. There's a bit of a channel in there right now, but it doesn't have any depth to it. And there's one of our flags from the survey. This channel was measured for Bankfull width, which is the permanently wetted area that goes from right down about here over to just below those bushes there. That's defined as a Bankfull width. And in the survey, the creek was broken down into 3-meter units, and cross-section measurements were taken at every 3-meter flag, and then a steel probe was used to probe down through the silt and find out the best course for the channel to take. So far it's worked really well.